Hello, hello, beautiful people. Welcome to yet another episode of The Hope in Between. And when I tell you life is lifing, I mean exactly that. So, what we're going to do before we get into it is we're going to catch our breath. Yes, I want you to subscribe. Yes, I want you to share this. Yes, I want you to put on your calendar to always go to iHeart Podcast to find the hope in between with Major and Eunice. But before you do all of that, we're going to center ourselves by taking a deep breath in on the count of three. One, two, three. Now let it out. One, two, three. Now let it out. This time, I want you to consider everything on your heart, everything that's pulling at you, everything that's requiring of you, everything that is whatever, good or bad, whatever it is. Take it in, deep breath in, let it out. That right there is surrender. Surrender to a power greater than us to handle and to navigate us in the throes of life. Don't ever let life rush you so much so that you forget to catch your breath, beautiful people. Be present in it. The right now moment offers so much information. Most of the time when we experience anxiety and depression, it's because we're caught up in the information that either has not arrived yet or that has already been here and is expired for usage. The present moment offers you what can be used in the right now to get you to the next. This is The Hope in Between with Major and Eunice Elliott. Y'all, Eunice, get to it. We're gonna get into why this heaviness is here on us. But how are you feeling? How are you doing? How
I'm
was your week?
okay.
I should say.
I'm okay. Let me tell you, I learned a new way to breathe. And so I tested it out with our three breaths.
Yeah,
So I just learned that a lot of times when you take a deep breath, like how we do and say in, a lot of times you like inhale up. And I
yeah.
saw this thing that says, your nasal passage actually goes to the back and down. So instead of breathing in up, think of breathing straight back into the passage.
Into.
Into.
Whoa.
And it actually is a clearer breath because it's not now being directed from the top of your head back
Yeah,
through the
into making
nasal.
you lightheaded.
Right.
Yeah.
And we've all seen, we know the nasal passage goes from, down. But when you take a deep breath, you tend to breathe up versus
I
in.
don't think people realize how that, I don't think people take time to think about how the nasal passage actually is the connector to the throat, it going down. Like
Yeah.
it's nasal to there and down. But I
Right.
think
But
our
the deep
natural
breath
thing is
go
thinking,
in.
so we're
Right. We
trying to
think
put it
deep
through
breath,
our
we go.
eyes and our head and all that stuff, but it is
So just a tip.
there
When you breathe, try to take a deep breath in and think of it going in.
into.
And it feels different.
Woo! There's so much symbolism even with that. I
Right,
like that.
right. I am okay. I am still enjoying a bit of a break from work, and so that's
Yeah.
been beautiful. I've been able to, I've been going through some transitions mentally, and the way I will kind of try to say it quickly is, I turned 50, and that's new and a thoughtful point of life, kind of like, you pray you live to 100, but you say, okay, I'm in the middle. It's like, well, probably not. You passed the middle, probably. But also, I'm in a new, happy, healthy relationship. All these new things and thoughts I'm having, I've literally have never had before. So I
Mhm.
kind of don't recognize myself, if that makes sense. Right? Because every thought is a new thought. It's not
Yeah.
a Eunice thought. It's a,
Yeah.
okay, I never thought that before. Okay, that's new. And so this weekend, last weekend, I had a chance to have some creative thoughts. And I felt like I recognized myself. I recognized my creativity. And so I got really excited, like, wait, that's me. That's me right there. I know who she is. And so
Right.
I'm kind of leaning into the parts of me that are familiar, that are positive. And, we've had to say goodbye to a former self. All of us do daily. And so getting to know the new me. So that's been a lot of actual energy and brain fog and focus and redirection and stretching and
I
blah, blah, blah. But it's all
I
good.
love that you are positioned this way in your perspective of it all, because that honestly is what is the gift of present moment, making room for the new you, even in the new moment.
Hmm.
Oftentimes we're like, well, I do this and I only do this and I only do this and I only do this, where we
And this is
don't
how I've
give
always done
room.
it. And this is what I
Yeah,
usually do.
because
And
I've always
everybody
done
knows
it. So
this.
that's just
No,
what I am. So
no
that
need for this.
you
Yeah.
ain't gonna change me. And it's like, well, keep living, because it's inevitable that
Hmm.
change is going to happen.
Right.
It's
And sometimes you may feel a
yeah,
little disconnected from it, right? Because
yeah,
it's new. And it's like, I told my friend, she said, are you scared? Are you nervous? I said, I don't have any fear or nervousness. It's just like going to a new restaurant. I don't have a
yeah.
favorite item on the menu yet. I don't know where the restroom is. I've never met the server. I don't know what they specialize in. It's all new and exciting and interesting. It's just not familiar. And so everything is oh, okay. Oh, so every thought I have is a brand. Who is she? Oh, okay.
I wonder
Wow.
if I'm tempted to look up the derivative of good morning, because I do believe that that's what it is. It's almost like, and I'm daring to say that it's saying that there's good in the awakening into the new, but you
Mhm.
do
But
have
you
to
have to
take a
mourn the
moment to
past, right?
mourn
Yeah,
the
yeah.
yesterday. Kaba.
Now, and I feel like I had that period where I just felt sad for no reason, right? But I realized I was grieving the old me, the old memories, the old stories, that become part of you. And I had to grieve them and tell them goodbye and send them on a ship down the river. And so then you're kind of empty now. Like, oh, I have to fill myself up with new. And
And it's you
I
get to
get to. Well, and that's the thing. I think for women, we are actually metamorphically going through a change
absolutely.
and learning about that, And so it's just a lot of change that I am aware of. I feel different in my own skin. And it's just like, okay, this is cool. This is interesting. And then some days I'm just on the couch, like, okay, I'll get them tomorrow.
And you nice. That's Eunice's name when
Yeah, I think they
yeah,
figured that
okay.
out. But
You nice
what
and
about
you
you? How are
nice.
you doing? I
Welcome.
saw you had a whole cheer squad.
Oh man, I've had quite a week since the last time we connected. I did a performance for the NAACP convention. I was one of their headliners for their Freedom Banquet. The urgency of now was the theme of that um, uh, convention this year, and it was pretty powerful of a statement, because oftentimes when there's turbulence, we often are just like, we got to sit still. But it's like, no, now more than ever, you have to move. Now more than ever, you have to show up, because that's what it requires. I opened it with I prayed for you, backed by a choir called Abraham's Descendants,
Hmm.
Christopher Irvin and Abraham's Descendants. It was super cool. And then I closed it out, the entire event, with a performance of For the Win, my song For the Win, which is actually
Yes.
one of my favorite songs.
It's one of mine too. One of mine too.
Yeah, it's a message. Oh, thank you. But yeah, and it really connected in a way that was unexpected. They of course thought I was going to be singing Why I Love You. That's always the expected. But two things. One, I have more music than that. And the other is the check didn't include Why I Love You. Okay.
Oh
But
wow.
although I love that
So
people
you
ask
know
for it.
what? So let me ask you this
Yeah.
about that song, and that kind of will bring us to kind of what we're heavy about today: being known for something that people love you for, but also as a human, as I'm saying, I'm growing and discovering new versions of me. I don't, people who talk about who you were last year or 10 years ago or 15 years ago, or the song you released 9 years ago. How does that make you feel? Like, is it a duality of, wow, that's great, I made an impact? Or are you like, yeah, I've made some new songs since then, I have a new hit
It's
song?
exactly
Where
what
are
you
you with
just
it?
said. I don't think you knew that you were giving me my answer. It's the
Oh,
duality.
okay.
It's
Yeah.
a duality because I'm like, oh man, that's so amazing. And then it's like, but I have more. And you can literally, I've been on press tours where I'm literally talking about the new song and someone is weeping because why I love you. Your song means so much to me. And it's so funny because it happens so often where I'm thinking, oh wow, they're connecting, and they're like, it's just the song just does so much to me. And so I'm like, oh, you dig it, you dig it. And they're like, yes, every time I just hear that hook, this is why I love. And I'm like, yo,
You're not
that
talking
ain't
about the
right.
song I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah, that ain't even a song. I literally am on a I prayed for you tour, and you talking about why I love you. It's a
So what
blessing
is
and a
that though,
challenge.
right? So you say thank you, or do you
It
say thank
I
you and
say thank
redirect to?
I say thank you. That means a lot. Now I want you to get into this new because I wrote
Yeah,
it for you. And I say it
yeah.
just like that, and they always laugh. Um, but I will say this funny story. I had a show in Los Angeles in the Valley at a place called the Living Room. Shout out to Kelvin Truitt. I hosted an annual event that happens at the end of the year where I bring friends and I'm performing. And my friend says, Halle Berry's coming. And I'm like, Halle
Uh-huh.
Berry, yes, sir. And so, and that's only because she's a great actress, not because she's drop
Only
dead
because,
gorgeous.
right. Correct.
But anyway, she uh she comes to the they said Hallie would like to speak to you before the show if that's okay. I'm like, oh no, it's not okay. Bring that girl back here. And of course, my cool was on 100. And this is before marriage, so I can fully say it with my chest. And I'm like, hey, how's it going? I'm trying to be cool or whatever, because this is Hallie. And she says, I just want to say that song is so beautiful. Now this is gonna turn because everybody in the room is thinking what I'm thinking. I said, it's really wild how Why I Love You has moved around and met so many people in the spaces and the phases of their life in such a real personal way. And she says, oh, I'm not talking about that one. Oh, it's that one's a beautiful song, but your song Honest, yo, that was my newest song at the time. And she literally spoke about that song as if it was known way more than Why I Love You. And it made me feel, it gave me a boost of, you in it, bro, and you're still
Yeah.
building. You are not your last victory. You are more than that. And then we had a viral moment because when I sang the song, I kid you not, she's singing along. And so, of course, you know me, I have those very spiritual connecting moments. And I walked to her and I sang to her and I talked about how beautiful she was. The moment goes viral when she posted and said, he rearranged my life. He gave me a perspective I didn't consider. Y'all get to know Major. Stop playing with him. So I just said
Okay,
all that
okay.
to
I
say,
love that story, but I got to go back to something you said in it. I got to go back.
huh,
It goes back.
huh,
It proves
huh.
a theory I have. It proves a theory I have.
Okay.
You said, okay, listen, men and women, everybody knows Halle Berry is literally, if not the most beautiful person on the planet. Top two might not
Yeah.
be number two. Okay, all right. But I have a theory that every man thinks he has a shot with the world's most beautiful women, right? So you
It's
had to say,
it
oh,
is.
this was before marriage. like, like that had anything to do with the story. I think
Well,
most men, it's crazy.
imagine with the hottest woman in the world. Listen,
Why
imagine
do y'all think you have an
next to my
opportunity?
wife, next to my wife.
Why do you
Let me
think
make
you
sure
and I have a theory that all men, they'll be like, man, if Jay-Z wasn't there, you still wouldn't be there. Stop it.
you
Cut it
wouldn't
out.
be with
You're
me.
ridiculous.
But
You're
let me
ridiculous.
tell you, Hallie's new guy, he's not an ugly dude, but you wouldn't just say, oh, they would, I can see, match them up. You wouldn't
I
think
can
that.
see them. I see them. I actually see them, and they're very similar. I think they have very similar aesthetics and background and energy and vibe and aura. So, and
They
and
don't,
not him being a singer,
he don't glow
not
like
him
no
being a
Halle
singer.
Berry.
What
No,
she would have taken us. She would have gotten with a singer, major. That's crazy.
all I'm saying is
All I'm saying
I
is,
could have been
it's
reckless
amazing
with
how
that moment.
delusion is
I could have
universal.
been reckless with that moment, and I may have been
Delusion
Mr.
is
I
universal.
may have been Mr. Berry. Why? Because I would take her. She's that fine. I take her last name.
And you see how he's thought about this. He's thought
Okay,
about
let
this
me stop.
before.
Let me stop. Because I
Delusion.
love my wife. My wife is
I know you
perfect
love
for
your wife, and
me.
she's somewhere laughing at you as well. But I
Nah,
promise you,
but that
every man, for the world's most beautiful women, every man on earth thinks that they would have had a shot outside of certain parameters. And it's like, sir,
Nah,
calm
I
down,
don't think
relax.
every man thinks that like that. I think they may say it, but they don't all think it. But I'll tell you, not many people get an assist with having a hit song that
True, true.
rearranges her
You
life.
had an
Though.
assist. Hey, look, you had an assist and still missed the shot. So
No, I had an assist, and I was just so overwhelmed with how what just happened that I didn't even
right.
fix my mind in like, yo. But
Yeah.
also, at the end of the day,
Ridiculous things.
I'm not trying to be with the Halle Berry because
I
you know
understand.
she had kids at the time. I wasn't
I
trying to
understand.
like,
There were
you
things
know,
that took off from being with Halle
yeah.
Berry.
I
There were
mean, it
things,
just
there
wouldn't
were
work
negative
out.
things, there were flaws, there were red flags. Okay. Again, whatever you got to do to go to sleep at night, my
Halle
friend.
Berry is the best, and
Yeah.
it was an honor. But I said all that to say I got more music than what I love you. And
Yes, you
speaking
do.
of I prayed for you is that new we got the drum major remix that's out right now. I'm in the studio right now working on a project called the Hope Dealer Sessions, and I'm telling you, you're gonna be so proud of me, Eunice. Not that you
More
aren't
so.
already,
More so.
because you often
Yes.
speak to that.
Yes.
But you would be proud of me. But I do want to get to something because I want to go ahead and say it so that we can release it into the space, and it's not just like this weight that we don't address. Our dear brother, our dear brother Malcolm-Jamal Warner has made his earthly transition to heaven as of today, and it's a heavy loss. It's a heavy loss for all of us that were acquainted with him by way of the Cosby Show. Even if it just stops there, it's heavy because of what he represented, what he meant to us in being represented as African Americans, and finding himself and finding life, and what that meant to the culture. But further, we've been blessed, Eunice and myself, to have had moments with him, and it's heavy. This is heavy. He died by way of, as said, as reported, by way of a drowning in Costa Rica. And man,
When I find myself feeling um, obvious sadness, Um, and I think a lot more of my sadness is, it's a collective sadness because all of us loved him for different reasons and so much. I think of all the people that we saw loved him. Though my heart is
yeah,
breaking for those people that I know had these relationships with him and stories with him and friendships with him and family with him. My heart breaks for them. Um, he was the coolest guy on the planet for a very long time.
That
Uh,
brother's
like
cool.
the
Yeah,
coolest kid you had ever met, and we got to be a part of that fictitious family that informed so many real lives. And yeah, it's heartbreaking, it's jarring, it's sobering, it's all the things. I have not been able to consume like any kind of tributes, or I've seen people, a lot of people sharing clips. Haven't been able to look at it just yet. I'm still a little very tender about it. But we were talking about, influence and legacy in our own lives and for people that we don't know or we feel like we know. And that's the dream, right? That you
mm,
leave an influence positive, that you leave some type legacy. And so in moments like this, you just say job well done,
yeah.
uh, to Malcolm-Jamal
Job
Warner.
well done. That is so fitting. So let's just take a moment to honor him, Malcolm-Jamal Warner. Malcolm-Jamal Warner, born August 18th, 1970, made his transition July 20th, 2025, at just 54 years strong. What a beautiful legacy. What a beautiful soul. Rest in power, King. Rest in power.
Now, Major, what's horrible is horrible and beautiful at the same time is if you live, this is part of your life, right? If you live, this is a part of your life.
That's
And
it.
so we know this. We know this is an inevitable. This is how the story goes. This is how the story is written. And I think so many of us don't necessarily take full advantage of the story we write each day, right?
Yeah,
We think milestones and moments and vacations and this event and this show as a moment, but each day is a page in our story. And it would just be a
absolutely.
shame to have a blank page just because it was a Wednesday. So I
That's
want
right.
everybody to think about writing your story every day, whatever it is,
Every day.
every
And
day.
making room for the evolution of your new
Mm.
self, the becoming of you. The becoming of legacy is written daily, daily. Every moment you choose to breathe, every moment you choose to give the next moment your best. And I think that perfectly moves into our topic for today, the inevitables of life. The inevitables of life.
What do you put on that list?
Whew.
Yeah, heartbreak,
All of
disappointment,
it. Listen,
failure,
yeah, go ahead. Yeah, yeah, keep going, keep going. List
uh,
yours.
depressions, sadness, overwhelm. I think all the things I'm listing, these are things we try to avoid, but they are inevitables in every human's experience. And so we try not to
Absolutely.
feel these things that just make us a human, having a human experience. We don't want to feel, I don't want to feel depressed. I don't want to feel sad. I don't want to have my heart broken. And so we try not to have these human experiences because these aren't the things that make us feel great, but it's still limiting
You can't escape
our,
it.
our growth. Yeah, you can't.
You
You can't.
can't escape it. And the reality is that pressure, that tension, that pain and suffering, it makes for the beauty of your why all the more. You literally cannot boil an egg lest you have heat. You can't understand diamond lest you have pressure.
Mhm.
It is a part of it. I'm going to be sharing this in my new project that's coming, the Hope Dealer Sessions. But true living is understanding that this unapologetic vortex we call life is both hope and healing, pain and purpose, joy and justice, trial and triumph, the good and the bad. And once you take hold of humanity's permission to show up fully in all of it, you will find that you can truly have joy in the battle and in the victory. It's
Joy in
all of it, y'all.
battle, joy
Yeah, yeah.
in victory.
Joy in my victory. I keep
Let
my
me say,
eyes to the heavens so my joy never slips from me. Woo!
you be singing. Let me
And
say,
that first verse, remember it says, I'm just a man who's lost some things and left with memories. I'm just a man who's growing older. I've made some friends along the way. I've made some enemies. And I pray they're all good in their soul. I've seen the reasons and the meanings and the seasons change. I've seen the magic come and go. I fell in love with shiny things I thought would warm me up. I felt the heat when it turned cold. All over me, you want my peace, but you won't get it. Remember, we were talking about peace in that other episode?
mhm.
I hear the devil steady knocking at my door. I'm just a man who's lost some things and left with memories. Still, I believe there's so much more because I've got what, Eunice? Joy in the
Joy
battle,
in the battle.
joy in my victory. Woo! Listen, beautiful people, it is all of it.
And
Depression
this
is
is
a
the
part
thing.
of it.
And this is the thing. This is the thing
Yeah, yeah.
about the human
Keep going.
experience. You were talking about pressure and diamonds and how you have to, have the heat to boil the egg. You know, one thing that if you realize in believing in how you are designed, if you look at a tree or a plant, I have some plants I haven't killed off yet, right? And I'm very proud of them. But I had some that were struggling and I kind of had written them off. I put the pots outside and guess what? Those plants decided to plant and grow again.
Yeah,
Okay. And I was like, oh, I thought y'all was done. I thought y'all was dead. And these new leaves and buds and petals. And I said, now a plant is going to plant. Okay.
yeah, it will.
He didn't need me. It needed me probably leave it alone. But it said, hey, I am designed to renew. I am designed to grow again. This is how I work. And you have to understand that is how we work. We are designed to grow again. We are designed to be resilient, to bounce back, to say, oh, I learned that and I know better and I know different and I do better when I know better. Like you are designed to go
Preach.
through that fire and come out stronger. You are
That's
designed
it.
for that. Yeah.
We are literally designed for that. Trials come to make us stronger at the very least. That's the baseline. That's the baseline. But you remember you talked about good is the baseline, goodness is the baseline, but
Mhm.
understanding that in it, still in this thing called life, will be the throes of the other.
Yeah.
But if you only choose to acknowledge the good and the safe, don't expect to be considered great
Mhm.
because greatness is only experienced and celebrated when it is birthed from a struggle.
Mm.
Greatness is only realized as a result of challenge, obstacle, difficulty, pressure, tension. You can't experience greatness any other way. The only thing you can experience any other way is called mediocrity, and that's
Mm.
just the existence. But greatness is experienced by understanding that I can endure. I am resilient enough to weather it all, and it's all a part of it. Yes, I may get anxious sometimes. Yes, I might get depressed sometimes. Yes, I might get frustrated sometimes. But yes, I might get happy sometimes. And
Mhm.
yes, it may be easy sometimes, but I dare you to fully live and to show up in all of the inevitables of life and live and watch how life bends in your favor because you chose to allow it to flow.
That's it. Allowing it to flow. Because so many times people don't want to feel the bad stuff. They won't even try. They'll stay on the safe side to not get disappointed, to not feel failure, to not feel heartbreak, to not feel betrayal, right? But it's on the other side of all the stuff you're afraid of feeling is that greatness. It's on the other side of that stuff. And you can't just stay here and say, no, 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 I'm good over here. You got to say, let me just put my head down and get through it. And then you get to look back and say, you know what? They like almost got me.
What?
They
Come
almost,
on.
they like almost got me. Look at them.
You
Okay.
talking real good. You talking real good. You nice. You nice with it right now.
let
You're
me let me
talking
tell
real
you, and
good.
also gratitude, okay? Because my power bill, I gotta tell the story about my power bill. Jesus, it's four hundred
New
fifty dollars.
levels, new devils, new. Come
Amen.
on,
$450.
you
Okay, it's
remember where
hot.
you were.
It's hot in Alabama. 100 plus feels like 100 plus every day. I've been blowing this
Yeah,
air conditioning. Okay, so I when I wasn't in my house and I was in LA, I wasn't using power in the house, right? And so they have this thing called budget billing. And so when I came
yeah.
back to my house, my budget billing, they said, we're going to give you this one bill every month, regardless of how you use this. And it was $83 a month. I said, have mercy, sign me up. This is a blessing.
Sign me up. Yeah.
Air conditioner on, lights on, TVs on, because it's going to be $83 a month, regardless. Now, guess what happens? Because of my usage, and that year was up, they gave me a new number for my budget billing based on my actual usage. That number was about 220. I said, ooh, 220. I won't do that. And go from 83 to 220. I said, no, thank you. We're not gonna do budget billing. We just gonna roll the dice and see what that bill looked like. Baby, that bill came, it was $450. I said, Jesus. I went straight to that website and said, sign me up for budget billing for $220 because that now is a deal. Okay. Now, the other part of that is, Lord, I have it to pay it. Don't want to, breaking my heart. But the gratefulness is that we not in here dying by the temperature. We can get a
Come
lower
on,
bill for
Eunice.
next month. We got the money to pay the bill.
That's right.
Let's just move forward and keep it going. Broke my heart, but I had to say, let's go. What's next? Okay.
You're on it,
And now we
Eunice.
back to leaving these lights on because that bill gonna be 220 either way. Cut them lights back on. That's what we doing over
But
here.
back that literally, when we heard our parents always tell us, just be grateful, just be
Yes.
grateful. What we were not realizing in the right now moment was that they were saying, get to the gratitude because
Yes.
it'll allow you to take on what is happening to you with a different perspective, a different
100%.
energy, and a different
Mm-hmm.
fortitude. Because what gratitude does is it recalls the things that are working for you, the things
Mm-hmm.
that have happened in your favor that are
Mm-hmm.
contributing to the better of what once was. And,
Yep.
and in comparison, we know that there was a time where we were probably struggling to be able to pay for this new bill that's more.
Probably,
But
he
while we
said.
can,
Probably, he said. Okay.
and it wi- and that's what it is. I love it. You get to that joy by way of
Mm-hmm.
gratitude
Mm-hmm.
because the joy is a condition, it's a posture, it's a posture that is informed by way of gratitude. Happiness is predicated on things happening, but that joy is something that shows up anyway because it is chosen and it is informed because you have enough record.
It
Come
is
on.
the battle. I am having joy in the battle, which is Alabama power. Jesus.
Listen, I love it. I love it. I love it. And I love that my new challenges are challenges from the floor of the very thing that I prayed for.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear what I said? It's the
Mm-hmm.
floor of the very thing that I prayed for.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm already here. That means if it's the floor, there's an abundance even above that that I'm not even giving attention to because I'm locked in on the challenge on the floor of what I prayed for. So let me get grateful. Let
And
me
don't
get to
forget
the point
that
of,
your
you know what, this
ceiling
ain't too
is
bad.
still somebody else's floor. Okay?
That's it.
So
That's it. And it's still somebody's floor. Or it may even be their ceiling. And that's the thing. Like it's a perspective shift.
it's a perspective. Yeah. That
You
will
said
either
something.
empower you or make you feel sick. But you get to pick how you look at all of it. You get to pick.
We got it. We're about to close it here. Listen, we with the political climate still climating, politicaling, you all of its craziness. Lock yourself in to the perspective that it could be and it ain't worse. This thing called life is full of all of it. It's inevitable that we experience pressure, difficulty, struggle, and challenge. Endure it, beautiful people. I guarantee you, you will never arrive at something that you are not equipped with the tools to endure. So help you, God, that divine power, working in collaboration with the tools that you have. I guarantee you, you will surely get to the other side of it. On both of our heads, for those that are listening, hope. We've got our hope hats. I'm rocking mine in LA. Eunice is rocking hers in Birmingham. But it's still the same hope. And hope is not the denial of reality. It's the commitment to believe greater is on the other side of it. But you ain't getting to the other side of it lest you put that hope to work. And that's with showing up fully. Anyway, even when it gets hard. Eunice, what say you?
Amen. Ashe.
Amen. Beautiful people, this is yet another episode of The Hope in Between with Major and Eunice Elliott. Salute to iHeart Podcasts, Inflection Point Entertainment, and all of our sponsors and partners that have helped to make this possible. Remember to catch your breath. You will endure. You arrive at nothing that you're not built for. So conquer, and remember, hope ain't ever canceled. Until next time.